The left claims to be tolerant of other people's views until they find one that they believe to be intolerant. Well, when you confront them on their, being intolerant, they tend to reference Karl Popper's paradox of tolerance. Well, they use this very incorrectly, by the way. I have the actual writings up right here, and I am going to read them out right now, and then I'll have a link in the comments to directly what I read as the quote in the thing. Anyways, Karl Popper. Unlimited tolerance must lead to the disappearance of tolerance. If we extend unlimited tolerance even to those who are intolerant, if we are not prepared to defend a tolerant society against the onslaught of the intolerant, then the tolerant will be destroyed and tolerance with them. In this formulation, I do not imply, for instance, that we should always suppress the utterance of intolerant philosophies as long as we can counter them by rational argument and keep them in check by public opinion. Suppression would certainly be unwise. But we should claim the right to suppress them if necessary, even by force, for it may easily turn out that they are not prepared to meet us on the level of rational argument, but begin by denouncing all argument. They may forbid their followers to listen to rational argument, because it is deceptive, and teach them to answer arguments by use of their fists and pistols. We should therefore claim, in the name of tolerance, the right to not tolerate the intolerant. So, what does this mean exactly? Well, it doesn't mean what the left is using it for, like the actual ideologies being intolerant. No, this is clearly about the actual people themselves not being able to be swayed via argument and immediately becoming violent. I wonder who does that currently. I'm just going to mention the BLM currently going around destroying everything in their path. Antifa, who's notorious for beating people for disagreeing with them no matter what their race, and also very notorious for racial slurs. So, yeah. He clearly makes an argument for free speech in this, actually, because of, keeping... as long as we can counter them by rational argument and keep them in check by public opinion, suppression would certainly be unwise. That's full freedom of speech, no matter what your ideology is. So, yeah. What Karl Popper actually means by this is people who use violence and physical harm instead of arguments in order to prove their side of being true. And that we should have the right to fight back against people who use their fists or pistols. I kept seeing people use the paradox of tolerance, and I just found it to be, once I did the research at least, I found it to be just completely absurd how people were using it. So, yeah. That is the paradox of tolerance. We have a tolerance problem. On the right, at least. We are too tolerant of those who actually cause physical harm and damage two members of of our ideologies. So yeah, be less tolerant to those who are intolerant. And the left, stop using the paradox of tolerance.